Hi everyone, Sin here from creativesynchronicity.com, and I'm back again with another crafty hangout sponsored by onlinelabels.com. If you're not familiar with them, you really need to go check them out. They've got the biggest selection I've ever seen anywhere. They have got every shape, size, color, material. I mean, they've just got all kinds of different labels there. Great ones for your house, you know, for household use, organization, all that kind of stuff. Great ones for being able to use in the office. And of course, the way I use them, great ones for craft projects. One of the fun things about having these labels, so what you do is you go to onlinelabels.com, you look around, you find the ones you like. Let me tell you, every time I go there, I find something new. So they've just got so many great things, and you know, it really gets the creative juices going to just even browse for a little while. But one of the great things about them is that, you know, with labels, you can take something simple and, you know, just a very quick and easy handmade gift, and you can take it up a notch because you can personalize it. So you can personalize the labels, you can, you know, make it to a certain theme. You can really further that personal touch. So recently I've been thinking about fall. I know, we don't want summer to be over yet. We don't want to be thinking about fall, but there's all these people talking in my feed about pumpkin spice lattes, and the weather's been a little bit chilly here lately. So yeah, can't help it. I'm thinking about fall, not Paul. So of course that gets me thinking about those pumpkin spice lattes. Can I tell you a little secret? I've never actually tasted one, but I think they smell amazing. And the smell of them to me is the smell of fall. Like, as soon as I smell those scents, I start thinking of cozy sweaters and sitting in front of the fireplace and, you know, the leaves changing color, all that good stuff, right? So I got to thinking about that. I got to seeing in my Pinterest feed a lot of references to coffee scrubs. Now, I make sugar scrubs, brown sugar scrubs, but I've started seeing a lot about coffee scrubs, so I got kind of intrigued about that. And on top of that, fall also makes me think about gift-giving occasions, because I'm usually getting invited someplace around Thanksgiving where I want to take some kind of a little gift to people. I'm usually going to various conferences and things, and I like to bring some little special gift to my roommate. And then, of course, Christmas time is huge in my family and with my friends, and there's always, you know, teacher gifts, and there's those gift exchanges at parties and all that kind of stuff. So I always start thinking a little bit at this time of year about and kind of getting planned ahead. And one of the things I do is I keep a running list of gift ideas like the one I'm about to show you, because those gifts are the last minute gifts. So those gifts are the ones for, you know, you go and consult your list when your kid comes home and goes, oh yeah, did you get a gift for my teacher? Because I really want to take them something tomorrow. And you're going, tomorrow, I don't have anything for tomorrow. Or, you know, you are getting ready for the party, and, you know, you're doing your makeup, and your husband says, okay, so did you get the gift wrapped for the gift exchange? And you, oh, right, there's a gift exchange. Oops. Rather than having to run out to the store and trying to find something really quick last minute, this is a super simple gift idea that you can whip up probably with stuff you've got right on hand in your home right then and there. I've got a label for you that you can print off, and it's already done for you. All you have to do is print it, okay? And, you know, get yourself a container like a glass jar or something, fill it up, stick the label on, mix this together, and you're good to go. So what is it? Pumpkin spice latte sugar scrub. That's right. Pumpkin spice latte sugar scrub. So it's got the sugar scrub that I make, the brown sugar scrub, and the idea of the coffee scrub, and it's all kind of put together. And let me tell you, it is absolutely delicious and delectable smelling. I mean, it smells good enough to eat, and quite frankly, all the ingredients are edible, but I don't think they taste very good together. And it works great on your skin. Like it makes your skin all nice and soft and glowing and makes you feel really pampered. So it's a really great thing to make for yourself, and it's a great thing to give to, you know, some of your friends, maybe to give them the idea that maybe they should take a little me time and, you know, let them know that you're thinking of them and wanting them to take a little time to pamper themselves. And it's so fast. And like I said, you've probably got the ingredients right on hand. So it's a really great last minute thing. And it feels luxurious, right? So I've got a couple different ideas for you. One is you just simply get yourself a container like a mason jar or something like that. You mix up the sugar scrub. You use my cute little labels. Okay, let me see if I can get those close enough that you can actually, that maybe it will focus. Oh, it's not focusing very well. In a minute, I'm going to switch to my other camera and maybe it will focus better on that. But it's just, it says, you know, it says the name of it and it's upside down. And it's got those cute little pumpkins in the background. So that's over on onlinelabels.com. You can search for that. I'll also, when I put up my blog post, I will link to it there so that you can print those off. You don't have to go and reinvent the wheel and make your own labels. They're already done for you. So you've got this cute little label. You can just slap it on the jar, fill it with the sugar scrub. You are good to go. Maybe tie a ribbon around it. Maybe put a piece of washi tape around it. Whatever you want. But it can be fast and quick. Even the kids can help you make this because they can, you know, mix up the ingredients for you. The other option is that I've made these really adorable, look at this, these little pumpkin jars. Now, I am well aware of the fact that there's this blank space there that apparently, yeah, I needed to go above the lip with the paint, or I'm thinking I might want to put some twine around there, like just some brown twine or something like that to tie it off. So, you know, just think about that when you're doing this. But it's a simple painted jar, and the lid, this is a pipe cleaner, chenille stem. Simple leaves. These ones happen to be made out of felt, and I just cut them and then I gave them just a little pinch at one end to give them a little more 3D depth there. And then this is one of those candle cups. So here, I'll show you. Okay, it's one of those little candle cups, wooden candle cups that you can buy, and I just painted it green. Took about 3 coats of paint to make sure that it was all good and even. Upside down, glue it on, and there's your stem. Simple cut this in half, just, you know, a regular length chenille stem. Use the pen, wind each half around to give you the curly cue. There you go for the, what are those little tendrils that come out of the, I don't know, what are those called on a pumpkin? I have no idea. Anyway, gives you those, and then simple felt leaves. So easy, easy peasy. You could just do the plain jar though. You don't have to do this. This is just kind of more of a second idea if you wanted to kind of do 2 gifts in one. If you're going with this idea, I would strongly suggest to you that you don't put the pumpkin mix down inside, directly inside the jar. I put it inside a Ziploc bag, and then I put that bag down inside the jar so that the jar stays clean, because even though I top coat the jar with Mod Podge, and I use just a helpful hint, I use the outdoor Mod Podge, because then that kind of holds up if they decide they want to sit this in the bathroom with the sugar scrub in it, or if they want to put it next to their kitchen sink. I keep sugar scrub by my kitchen sink for when my hands are all covered with paint or dirt from gardening or whatever. So it just helps protect it a little bit more and keep it a little bit more water resistant. But even so, you're not going to want to try and give this a really thorough scrubbing. And of course, sugar scrub has oil in it, so it's greasy and it's going to be a little bit difficult to get cleaned up. So, you know, I would suggest that you put it inside like a plastic container and then in the jar, or you put it in like a baggie and put it down in the jar or something like that. But this gives them kind of an extra little gift that they can use. I'm going to make up a second one and put it so that, you know, I kind of have a little grouping that can sit there. Maybe put something different in the other one. And they're going to look super cute as a little grouping of pumpkins. And then, so you can see on this one, I added my little label here. And then I just need to glue the things on top. And I'm all good to go. Now, one of the things about the label on the painted jar, you know, peeling the label off after it's been on there for a while, obviously you might lose a little bit of paint underneath. So there's a couple solutions to that. First one is seal the jar first, like seal over your paint, and then put the label on, and usually that seal will keep the paint protected. And when you peel the label off, it will not peel off any of the paint finish. The other thing is that Online Labels makes like a low tack, I think they call them easy release, sticker. So it's a sticker that comes off. It doesn't have quite as much adhesive or quite as strong an adhesive as the other ones do, and so it comes off much easier. So that's another good one to use for this, because then it will just kind of peel off when they're finished using it for the sugar scrub, and then they can go ahead and display it for other things. So let me just move a couple of these things out of the way, because I'm going to show you the sugar scrub. And before I do that, I just want to show you, at a craft store, I found these adorable little wooden scoops. So these are really cute. If you're putting the sugar scrub like in the bag down in the jar, then you know, you could tie this around the bag down inside there, or just tuck it down in. Or if you're just making a jar of scrub without the painted effect, you know, just shove this down in there, and they've got an adorable little scoop that they can scoop out the scrub when they're ready to use it. So those are really cute. I also saw some like mini wooden spoons that would work, you know, something like that. So they've got something to kind of get the scrub out with. So let me move my camera. Actually, I'm not moving my camera. I'm going to try switching my camera. It worked when I tried it earlier. Fingers crossed it works this time. So let's go to, yay! Hooray, hooray, it worked. And you can see there my books that are propping up my camera here. It was kind of the best way. Oh, I'm moving it the wrong way. I always forget that it's backwards. Kind of the best way of getting enough height on the camera to be able to see down into the bowl. So here's what I've got in the bowl. Oh. Before I go on, I'm looking at my sheet here that has the recipe so I don't forget anything. And I wrote down something that I wanted to remember to tell you, and it has to do with the painted jars. So, painted jars, okay? Now, first of all, this one, I would have preferred it didn't have all this embossed fruit on it and it was just plain. But I'm having a difficult time finding those plain ones lately. But the other big tip is paint it with white paint first. Here's the reason why. You're going to need several coats of paint to cover. And my mom taught me this. My mom is like superstar pro crafter. Let me tell you, I learned so much from her. And she taught me this years ago, that a good base coat, a good foundation, just a coat of white paint can really, really help kind of give you a blank canvas to work on top of. So if you're collaging over it or if you're painting over it, for whatever reason, first of all, I mean, that first coat of paint usually, no matter whether you're using white or colored, seals the surface and then allows you to build up other layers on top anyway. So that's one good reason for it. Another good reason is I find that sometimes if I'm using some of the colored paint, you know, maybe it's something that I'm finding is really kind of sucking up some of the paint, and I'm needing like 5 or 6 layers of the colored paint. For some reason, giving myself kind of that blank neutral canvas to start with of the white, I usually only then need maybe 2 coats of the colored paint on top of that. So instead of 5 or 6 coats, I'm actually using 3 in total. So that helps you save on paint and save on money. Plus the white paint that I use, another great tip from my mom was you go to like Home Depot, you know, one of those kinds of those home improvement stores, and you get yourself indoor latex paint, like the kind of paint that you would paint furniture or paint your walls with in your house. I mean, that kind of paint, we use it on wooden baseboards and we use it on walls and things like that. So it is a good versatile paint, and it's cheaper. You know, I don't usually buy the big gallon thing because I want it to stay fairly fresh and I don't know how quickly I'm going to use it all up. But that next size down, I don't know, what is that, a quart size? I'm not sure what size that is. But I usually get that size of it, just plain white latex paint, and that's what I use, and it saves you a lot of money. And oftentimes what I'll do is when I know that I've got a whole bunch of things that eventually I'm going to be painting them, doing some kind of special treatments on them, whatever, I'll just put them all out kind of assembly line fashion, pull out that white paint, get them all base coated, and then I am good to go whenever I'm ready to actually do kind of the, you know, the colored paint, the fancy stuff, the, you know, the decorative things. So there's a little tip for you. So I have got in here, and it smells amazing already. This is 1.5 cups of brown sugar, and then I've got about 1/2 cup of ground coffee. So, and it doesn't really matter what kind the coffee is. If you want, though, to add, you know, even another little layer to the scent, I mean, if you like things like hazelnut or something like that, just trying to break up a few of those little lumps in there, you know, try experimenting with like a hazelnut coffee or a vanilla coffee or whatever. I even saw like a pumpkin spice coffee, ground coffee on the shelves. You could do that, and you could probably, depending on how strong it is in scent and how much scent you want in it, you might even be able to skip the pumpkin spices that I'm about to add. So there's that. Now I've got the spices, and I've got, you see this? I've got 2 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice, and I've got a teaspoon of cinnamon in there. You know, if you don't want to use pumpkin pie spice, you can certainly mix it up yourself at home. There's all kinds of, you know, just Google it and you will find that they will tell you exactly what proportions of what spices make up pumpkin pie spice. So, so there's that. And then I like a little bit of vanilla in this. So I've got a teaspoon of vanilla. I'm using pure vanilla, like really good pure Mexican vanilla. If you're using the artificial vanilla extract, you might want to bump that up to 2 teaspoons because it won't be quite as strong as what I'm using. Okay, so that's the basic mix. I wish there was smell-o-vision. Seriously, it smells exactly like a pumpkin spice latte. It smells so, so good. So at this point, you want to get in some kind of oil because that's what turns it into something that's going to kind of stick to your skin a bit so that you can rub it around and scrub your skin. And it also, you know, you don't want to be scrubbing this straight on your skin because that's a little bit too rough. It softens it down and helps, you know, while it exfoliates, it also softens your skin. So olive oil is a really good one because it's just kind of a plain oil that's good for your skin. Almond oil is another really great one to use. I'm actually using a blend of the two. Grapeseed oil is another great one for your skin. Sometimes I just kind of use a little bit of each and blend them together. This time I've got basically half and half olive oil and almond oil. Almond oil is a little bit pricier. So that's why I'm splitting it a bit, just to make this a little more affordable. But sure, certainly for luxury's sake, you could do all almond oil. The other thing that's really great in here is to break open some of those capsules or buy one of the little vials that you can get of vitamin E oil and put a few drops of vitamin E oil in here to add to your skin. And coconut oil. Coconut oil is another great thing to put in this. Now, the coconut oil that I buy is solid. So, you know, what I need to do is I usually need to warm it up a little bit to get it to melt, and then let it get to, you know, a manageable temperature so it's not too hot when I'm trying to work with it. So I've got a total of 2/3 of a cup of oil here, but I'm not going to put all of it in just yet because I find, and I don't know exactly why this is, I find it varies each time just slightly as to exactly how much oil I need in here. It's usually anywhere from, it's usually between a half a cup. Like I don't think I've ever gone, in fact I know, I've never gone below half a cup of oil for this mixture. And I've never gone above 2/3 of a cup of oil. So I just, you know, I pour in some, and then I pour in a little bit more, and I stir until I get it a really good consistency. I find sometimes, especially with the coffee in there, that it may tend to be on the side of needing a little bit extra of the oil, because the coffee kind of, I don't know what it does. It just seems to make it a drier mixture in some way. So I just, you know, I might need to go to the higher end of this. It's kind of up to you exactly how much you want there to be in, to have in there, but you want it to be a wet mixture. Because again, you don't want it tearing at your skin. You want it to be softening and feeling good on your skin. So I may just end up using this whole 2/3 of a cup. You don't want it floating in oil though. This is getting really close. So I'm going to add just the rest of that little bit in there. So that was the full 2/3 of a cup. You know, maybe it depends on there. That's it. That's exactly how I want it. Okay. It may depend maybe on the coffee that you're using too, as to exactly. But can you see? Oh, if I hold it over, see, it's kind of like it's wet and kind of pasty, but it's not floating in oil. Like you can't see oil down in there that it's sitting in. It's just a paste. So that's it. This goes either into the jar or it goes into like a plastic container that'll fit down inside the jar, or a Ziploc bag if you are using the painted jars and don't want it to go in there directly. So let me just see if I can get the camera to come back to the other one. We'll see if this works. Ta-da! Look at that. Look at that. It actually worked. I don't know why it always focuses in so closely on my face though. Okay, so that's it. Quick, easy. I mean, I showed you, you know, I did a lot of talking, right? You could get this banged out a lot faster without all of the talking, but I wanted to make sure you had all my little tips. But you see how quickly you can pull that together. You're done. You've got a gift. All you have to do is throw it in a jar, print off some of my labels. Oh, I said I was going to try showing you those labels. You know what? You'll see them on my blog post, because it just does not want to focus, does it? So that you can actually see the print on it. Sorry about that, but I will put a picture up in my blog post so that you'll be able to see it, and you'll be able to get a good look at them before you print them out. And it will tell you exactly, when you go to print them out, it will tell you exactly what size labels, what do you call that? Product number is what I'm trying to say. The product number that you need from onlinelabels.com, and you'll be all set to go. Go online, order up your labels, get them in now, and then you'll be all set for gift giving season and for these yummy, yummy fall flavors. cents. I guess it's more of a cent. Okay, so thanks for joining me today, and I hope that you are having a wonderful day, and I will talk to you again very soon.